Good evening, everyone. Welcome to my live and my podcast, depending on what platform you're watching or listening to. And, I realised when I was thinking about what to do for the podcast this week, I realised I haven't done one on itchy dogs. And it's a question that I get asked a lot about. And in actual fact, one of my my first blog post was all about itchy dogs, and I don't know why I've not done it on an actual live or a podcast, but anyway, here we are. So we're going to be covering itchy dogs because it is a question that I get asked pretty much several times a week from people. One of my most popular consultations is actually itchy pets as well, and there's so much that we can do. So my name is Dr. Helene. I'm an emergency medicine doctor and also a certified animal aromatherapy specialist, and I love to help people with an integrative approach to their health and that of their pets. So if you like what you're listening to, please hit the follow or the subscribe button and let me know in the comments what you want to learn about as well. And it would really help me if you leave me a 5-star review as well. So, and if you want to get essential oils into your life or book a consultation from me, there's links in the show notes, or you can pop to the link going across the bottom of your screen if you're watching as well. Actually, I just realized going across the bottom of the screen is my events link, but that's okay because it brings me on to my next thing. So I've got a couple of events coming up next week, actually. One is an A to Z of ailments, and it's about using essential oils for you and your family to help you support your health in a variety of different ways. And I'm running that with my good friend, paramedic Sabrina. So pop to the link going across the screen, or if you're listening, it's www.thehealthfuldoctor.com/events. And then the next day, it's a busy week next week, I've got my quiet confidence for anxious dogs. So if you've got a dog who is anxious, lacking confidence, reactive or something, and you're really struggling, or maybe you're not even struggling, but you just want to know what you can do to help, tune in for the class because I've got some great tips for you. And these are all things that I've done with my own dog and other people's dogs and clients, and some really, really effective ways. I'm just going to grab my water. I had to put my water out the way because my cat Mufasa. So if you've been on a live with me, you'll probably know all about Mufasa. So anyway, let's cover the topic of itchy skin because it's, as I said, something that gets asked of me all the time. I've got one of my nice oils here. And, I've been there with my dog. I had this beautiful dog called Toffee, and her allergies and her gut intolerances, oh my goodness, it's how I really got started at looking at nutrition. And it sort of led me down this path, really. And it's really draining because you don't know what to do, and there's so much that actually you need to do. And one of the first things you need to do is you need to have a holistic approach, and unfortunately I think that isn't done enough in modern medicine, whether that's veterinary or human. It just isn't. And because our bodies are the sum of all the different parts, not just our skin, and our gut also has skin as well, so we really need to address it. And so Toffee had really inflamed and itchy skin and continual upset tummy. And I didn't know as much as I know now. I mean, I probably didn't even know like 5% of what I know now. But I just had this sense that what I was using in the home was a problem. And so I started researching and going back to basics. And the first thing I did was unplug the plug-in air freshener. And that little action made a massive difference. And, I am asked a lot about, is it safe to diffuse fragrance oils? And my answer is no, because fragrance oils are not pure essential oils. They have only the aromatic components taken out of them for the smell, and they will frequently say on the bottle, not for topical use. And so you do not want that oil landing on your dog's skin because it can cause irritation. And the other thing with fragrances is companies do not have to disclose what is in their fragrances because it's a proprietary secret. And so they can actually have some horrible things in there that cause allergies, and you wouldn't even know. So, it's really important to look at that. And so for me, that made a massive difference, just unplugging the air fresheners. But also there was more to unpick. And by eliminating common household products and going back to the natural ones, I actually got her skin to heal and food adjustments as well. Now, the other thing is I thought I was using really good products around the home, but actually I wasn't. I was using what I thought were green products, but actually they weren't. And, this is a common problem that some of these eco-friendly ones actually aren't that eco at all, and we can be very susceptible to toxins around the home. And even just what you use on your skin or yourself can affect your dog. And Our homes are estimated to be 2 to 5 times more polluted than the air outside. So minimizing these threats makes a massive, massive difference. And I'm going to link in the show notes a blog post, and there's a link to my blog post that says that's called What My Dog Taught Me About Toxin-Free Living. But using natural products around the home and diffusing immune supporting oils can really help minimize these environmental and seasonal threats that play havoc with our skin. And I'll cover oils in just a sec. But let's go back to nutrition. So really important that we look at this. So dogs were descended from village dogs thousands of years ago, and their digestive systems were designed to live on scraps and what is scavenged. Now, I'm not saying to feed your dogs scraps, because obviously that's what we used to do. But the point is that ultra-processed food and kibble is that, and it's only been around for I think about 100 years. They're not really designed to do it. Their bodies, like our own, are not designed to process it. And so since the advent of processed food, there has been a sharp increase in allergies and intolerances, and the skin and the gut has suffered from it. Now, if you've got a dog that's got yeasty ears or yeasty paws, you've got to stop the carbs. And that is what kibble has in it, carbs. And I do understand that for some people that's, it's a price thing or something, but adding in some toppers of minimally processed food, doing, what you can do to make changes make a massive difference. Now, I am a massive fan of raw food. I don't use raw every day. Sometimes I cook. I've home cooked today. So the dogs have got what I always call it a deconstructed fish pie. So it's white fish with mussels and some butternut squash, some beetroot, coconut milk. It's got some ground up seeds in it, some mussels. I think I put a carrot in it as well. The dogs loved it. It's all great. But it's minimally processed. And you want to use that because processed food is lacking in crucial digestive enzymes that help break the food down and provide crucial energy for cells to function optimally. And so that is why diet is so crucial and really the basis of improving health and wellness. So I really like to add to the clients that have itchy dogs digestive enzymes. Several of my dogs actually have digestive enzymes as well, depending on their own health needs. I take them. And I really like them because they help with the digestion of proteins, complex carbs, sugars, and fats. And they may actually be the missing link for you if you have a dog that is struggling with allergies. And if we are deficient in these enzymes, our body has to divert other resources for metabolic functions towards the production of these digestive enzymes, and therefore optimal cell function, and therefore our health can be compromised, as free radicals, for example, that contribute to the inflammatory process can't be held in check. So actually adding some digestive enzymes into the diet from an outside source takes the pressure off the gut, and it ensures that good gut function, because that is vital. And the onslaught on our bodies, including stress, so if you've got an anxious dog, that it's going to be affecting their gut. And actually I see a lot of itchy dogs that also have anxiety because they're itching so much it's making them anxious. And actually it's not, I had someone wanting help with the anxiety, and I said we can't deal with the anxiety until we deal with the itching, because they're too interlinked. And so it's really important. The other thing we need to be aware of with some meats is that the use of antibiotics via the meat is ingested and causes a dysfunction. And actually, antibiotic resistance, it's a big chunk of that comes from farming. And so it's really important to where you buy your meat, and, buy the best meat that you can, buy organic, or people that adhere to organic practices, even if they have not actually got a farm that's got the certification, because otherwise that's going to cause a dysfunction in your gut bacteria, because we need to support the immune systems. If you've got a dog that's itchy, you've got to support their immune system, and 70 to 80% of our immune system is in our gut. And so it's really important. And obviously we've got the gut-brain axis, which can cause digestive issues. So, we've got this link, and I was actually covering this in my Facebook group, The Doctor's Den, because there is a link between the brain and the gut. And that's the same for our dogs. So as I said, they might be anxious because they're itching, but actually if they've also got a food intolerance, that's going to be causing them anxiety. And then their anxiety is going to be interfering with their gut. And so they're not going to be breaking down food properly, and vice versa. So, repopulating it with a good probiotic as well can be really, really vital. And, I absolutely love a particular one called PB Restore. It's a fantastic one. It is safe. As long as your dog can swallow capsules, it's absolutely fine to use. And I've got the link actually in my in my blog post as well, because you can't break it. It comes in a double chamber capsule, so you can't actually split it. So it's only if they can actually swallow it, and you don't want them chewing it because it's designed to bypass the stomach and get to the intestines. Now, the other thing you need as well is good omega-3. Omega-3 is great. It's a great benefit in helping support the skin as well as a host of other functions, particularly the musculoskeletal system as well. So you want 1,000 milligrams per 10 kilogram of body weight. Now, you need to be really careful with this, because you need to make sure that the omega-3 you are giving your dog has got enough in there to be giving you that that therapeutic dose. Because a lot of omega-3s are for sale. When you actually, they either tell you just to do a pump, but they don't actually have how much is in it. And I've even got in touch with companies saying, can you tell me exactly how much omega-3 is in a pump? And they can't tell me. So that's concerning, because they've not done a nutritional analysis. And then other ones, actually, when you look at the back of it, it doesn't actually have enough omega-3. You'd have to give it 3 or 4 pumps. So it's really important to find that. Now, I really like the wild fish ones. I don't like the salmon. A lot of it comes from farm salmon. So no. Plant-based sources of omega-3 are not as bioavailable to our dogs as they are to us. So it is best to stick to marine sources. Now, again, one of my favorite sources of omega-3 is IQ Mega. So I do sell this, and I've put a link to it in the blog that I'm going to share in the show notes. But loads of different benefits from omega-3. Healthy skin and coat. It can help to reduce inflammation, which is a common cause of skin irritation, itching, and remedies in dogs. Improved joint health as well. So obviously for our elderly dogs, it helps with the brain as well, and great for the immune system, can help boost immunity and protect against disease. So really, really important, and can also help with energy as well. So I'm just going to take a drink. Oh, brilliant. Sorry about that, needed a drink. Now, let's just cover about essential oils, because essential oils can be used in a variety of ways to support the body from the inside and out, to calm and soothe itchy skin and help balance it. Now, one of the great things as well, because I do get people whose dogs are so stressed now by being touched. The great thing about essential oils is you can actually don't even need to put your hands on the dog. It's not like you're applying an ointment. You can actually do some work on their skin without touching them, which is really good for a dog that has got poor skin and doesn't want to be touched, or an anxious dog that's got allergies. It's great. And there's some brilliant ones too that we can use. And I really, really wish I'd had this insight when I had my dog Toffee. So there's some great ones to use. So you've got your floral oils, lavender, geranium, Roman chamomile, lemon, and peppermint. And what you use and how you use them is going to be very dependent on each individual dog. But they're great because what they do is they bring the skin back to balance. They bring the gut back to balance. They're all about balancing and soothing. So they can do those two things with one thing, with one blend. Okay, so whether it's itchy or inflamed, and so there's a whole heap of things you can do, and it's so uncomfortable. And I'm just going to share you a little success story I had, because this was a lovely little dog that was actually referred to me by a behaviorist, because they were seeing a behaviorist about the dog's anxiety and behavior, but actually it was the root cause of it was his itchy skin. So the review was from someone called Daniela, and she said, I contacted Helen to help my Boston Terrier with his itchy skin. Having tried Cytopoint, Apoquel, and other treatments over 5 years with no success, he was suffering really badly. Rashes, chewed paws, and red raw ears. Steroids were the only thing that brought him any relief, but I didn't want him on them forever. They made his coat and skin dry and changed his appetite and behavior. Helen advised on a program of essential oils and natural supplements. And she's put in brackets, I was a huge skeptic with nothing to lose and some... and then she said, I also suggested some small dietary changes as he was already raw fed. Wow, is all I can say. His ears have not been infected since. The fur is growing back on them as he's not scratching all the time, and he sleeps through the night without constant discomfort. We've enjoyed the summer with the least effective seasonal threats he's ever had. It did take a couple of months to find the right doses and regime that work for him. So if you're new to it, trust the process. Helen is an expert and went above and beyond to help. Couldn't recommend highly enough or thank her enough, to be honest, which is absolutely lovely to know that I helped. But there's so many ways you can help your itchy dog. So If you want to learn more about how I can support you, please check out the links, get in touch. I've got a How to Soothe a Itchy Dog webinar. If you want to get started, then I've got an Itchy Pet Kit, which comes with full instructions to help you get started. It's a bit of a DIY approach because it links you with a webinar. But if you want a really in-depth plan to help you, which is going to be even faster for you, then book in a consultation with me. And I can help you. And like I said, there's links in the comments here. Because I love to help this, and a lot of the stuff I can help with your dog and then help you as well. So there's so many ways that the essential oils and just taking a holistic approach to helping your dog can make a massive difference. So I hope that's been helpful for you. If you've got any questions, do pop them in the comments. And like I said, I will link the information in the show notes as well. Don't forget the 2 classes that are on next week, the A to Z of ailments using essential oils, and also Quiet Confidence for Anxious Dogs. So if you like what you're listening to, please hit the follow or subscribe, and don't forget to share this. If this has been useful to you, please share it as well so that other people can get some benefits as well. Have a beautiful evening. Stay safe, stay well. Bye.